It's Keith Keller in Melbourne, Australia. I've got a special edition of Be Seen, Be Real. You've got to hear this story. It's an amazing story. This person is probably the most authentic person I have ever met. The good, the bad, and the ugly. You've got to watch her videos. They're unbelievable. The tears, the lonely nights. Maytel, why don't you tell people what you're doing, just in case they haven't heard of you before?
I'm an actress from New York, and I'm currently documenting a cross-country acting challenge that I created for myself as a web series called The Road to Hollywood. I'm traveling to 12 cities. I started in New York, and the end goal is Hollywood. The challenge is in every city I have to find an acting job. I'm not allowed to leave a city until I book an acting gig. I'm traveling alone with one suitcase and no money, and not knowing anybody in most cities that I'm going to. And I have to figure out how to get by, make some money on the side. I have to network and meet actors and filmmakers. I have to find ways to audition there until I end up booking something and then advancing to the next city. I do that in 12 cities. I'm in New Orleans right now, my 8th city. I've been on the road for a year already. A lot of ups and downs emotionally. It gets really, really hard. Like you said, the lonely nights, but also the amazing stuff that just happens to you along the way. Constant random kindness. People just hear the story and they like the fact that I took a leap of faith and they're like, let me help. What can I do to help? Sometimes I'm just shocked at how nice people can be to somebody that they don't even know, just because they want to do something good for others.
You're bringing it out. You're allowing people to help. We want to help. We want to be nice.
People want to help, but they're afraid. But when you allow yourself to be vulnerable, they're not intimidated. And then they're okay with helping you. Yeah. I think the fact that I am being so vulnerable and just putting myself alone out into the universe and just like, I don't know what's going to happen.
You're using couchsurfing.com. You're just reaching out and asking for help. Is it as simple as that?
Yeah. Well, I'm telling people my story and I'm like, I'm going to be in town. Are you available to host? Some people say yes and some people say no, but that's life, right?
It's like a case study in reality. I mean, books have been written about this. Books have been written about this and you're doing it. It really points to the whole point of this show, but also the whole point of these books that have been written about you. You were based in New York and you could have done everything like everyone else. And you're gorgeous and you're talented and you're clever, but so is everyone else, right? Now people are going, okay, she's got all the basics, but she's also got the chutzpah, and I can use that word.
Yes.
The chutzpah to say, you know what, I'm just going to take a chance.
If there's one thing I learned on the road for a year already is that every person has a story. They're just not allowing themselves to share it with everybody. Yeah. Not everybody's okay with being vulnerable to the whole world.
I think the idea of being vulnerable and being real has increased your opportunities.
Yes. Being vulnerable online is everything because most people aren't. The fact that you're allowing yourself to be vulnerable makes people relate to you. Because everybody feels sad, everybody feels scared, everybody feels confused, and they're not sure what to do next with their life. Does anybody really know? No, nobody really knows. I had a 90-year-old telling me, don't listen to what anybody else said because nobody really knows anything anyway. We're all just figuring it out as we go. So the fact that you're saying this out loud on the internet makes people feel better because they feel like they're not alone with their feelings and somebody else is going through that too.
I know for sure that something is happening here and I am so proud to be part of this with you.
Oh my God, thank you so much, Keith. And it makes me feel really good when people support what I do because some days on the road you just feel like really nobody cares. You're like, I'm working so hard, does anybody even care? But then when I hear from people, they're like, I'm so proud of you. This is great. And that really makes me feel like, all right, what I'm doing is actually worth it because I'm touching other people. And Isn't that what we all want? Don't we all just want to be able to touch somebody else and feel something together with them, and be able to relate to each other, to one another?
Really, you, on your down days, you have to keep going. You are like an inspiration to us.
Oh. Thank you. I do feel like my journey has been mostly about collaboration. I'm not the topic of the show. You're not the topic of the show. It's something we're doing together. The fact that I'm collaborating with so many people across the country has given me the strength to go on, seriously.
By being real, you have increased your chances of this happening by about 1,000,000%, because you're out in the world, bashing into the doorman who happens to be an actor, bumping into the taxi driver who happens to know there's a gig upstairs. Go on.
Yeah. Yes.
You're bumping into people who happen to be in the zone. They don't show that veneer necessarily, but you're courageous enough to network and talk about it. It's very inspiring. We'll be looking back on this in many, many years to come. See you in 10 years' time winning an Oscar, winning an Emmy.
That would be lovely.
and we can look back and say that it's all because you had the courage to sleep in the bus stop at Atlanta.
Yeah.
You know, to go on camera and cry because you couldn't find a place to stay.
Yeah.
And the elation of getting drunk at a bar in New Orleans and winning $100 at the casino. You know, and everything in between.
And everything in between.